She walked on stage smiling, but no one was ready for the truth she was hiding. If you don't want to miss our breaking news updates, subscribe right now. When Nightbirde stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage, no one could have predicted that a quiet young woman with a gentle smile would deliver one of the most unforgettable moments in the show's history. Her presence alone carried a soft glow, a kind of fragile bravery wrapped in warmth, and from the second she appeared, the audience leaned in as though they already sensed something extraordinary was about to happen. She introduced herself softly, "Hi, I'm Nightbirde," and even her voice felt like a warm breeze brushing against a cold night. She wasn't loud, she wasn't flashy, but her presence was a magnetic force that drew every eye and silenced every distraction in the room. Before she could begin singing, Simon Cowell asked her the simple question that all contestants receive: "Do you sing for a living?" Her response was gentle yet heartbreaking. She said she hadn't been able to recently, and the judges could sense immediately that something deeper, something heavy, lived behind her eyes. Then she revealed the truth: she had cancer. The room froze as she explained how she had been fighting for a long time. But before anyone could drown in sympathy, she brightened her smile and said a sentence that left everyone stunned: "It's important that everyone knows I'm so much more than the bad things that happened to me." In that moment, Nightbirde didn't just introduce herself, she introduced her courage, her philosophy, her entire spirit. When the music began and she started to sing her original song, "It's Okay," the entire theater fell into a silence so deep it felt sacred. Her voice was airy, fragile, and heartbreakingly honest. She didn't try to impress anyone with vocal power or complex melodies. Instead, she delivered pure truth through every lyric. Her words felt like pages torn from a diary, pages stained with tears and stitched back together with hope. People watching at home later confessed they began crying within seconds, not because the song was sad, but because the emotion behind it felt so real that it pierced straight through the heart. Nightbirde wasn't performing, she was sharing her soul. The judges' faces told the whole story. Heidi Klum blinked back tears, Sofia Vergara pressed her hand to her chest, and Howie Mandel leaned forward like a man trying to hold onto a moment he didn't want to end. But Simon Cowell's reaction was the one etched into memory. Known for his harsh critiques, sharp wit, and impossible-to-please standards, Simon looked completely undone. He watched Nightbirde with a softness rarely seen, as though every word she sang was unlocking something deep inside him. By the time she reached her final line, "It's okay if you're lost, we're all a little lost and it's alright," the room had been transformed. No one clapped at first, they were all too caught in the spell. When the applause did erupt, it sounded like thunder. But even that couldn't shake the emotional heaviness that lingered in the air. Before the judges could even deliver their comments, Nightbirde said another line that changed everything: "You can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy." That sentence rippled through the room like a shockwave. It was shared millions of times online, printed on posters, quoted in videos, tattooed on skin, whispered to loved ones in pain. In that moment, Nightbirde wasn't just a singer, she became a voice for every person battling something invisible. Simon gathered himself, stood up, and said words that made everyone hold their breath. "I'm not going to give you a yes," he began, and then paused. "I'm going to do something else." He slammed his hand onto the golden buzzer, sending gold confetti raining down from the ceiling. Nightbirde gasped, covered her face, and laughed through tears as the audience rose to their feet in a roaring celebration. The explosion of confetti wasn't just a symbol of success, it felt like a celebration of her life, her resilience, her refusal to give up. Simon walked onto the stage and hugged her in a rare moment of pure emotional sincerity. Whatever he whispered left her smiling with genuine gratitude. Viewers around the world later said that this golden buzzer felt different than any other, that it carried weight and meaning far beyond entertainment. Within hours, Nightbirde's audition became a global sensation. Her name trended worldwide. Her song, "It's Okay," amassed millions of streams overnight. Reaction channels flooded YouTube, influencers shared her message, and people from more than 100 countries wrote about how her performance touched their hearts. She became a symbol of hope, not because of her illness, but because of her extraordinary courage and gentleness. People wrote online that she made them feel seen during the darkest moments, that her words reached them when nothing else could. Nightbirde didn't just inspire people battling cancer, she inspired anyone struggling with depression, loss, heartbreak, or life's uncertainties. Behind the scenes, her story was filled with resilience. Her real name, Jane Marchevsky, belonged to a woman who moved to California chasing dreams, not knowing that life would test her strength again and again. Every time cancer returned, she fought back with a smile that defied logic. She wrote music as therapy, as release, as a way to transform pain into something beautiful. Even when her body weakened, her spirit refused to crumble. Her AGT performance wasn't just a chance to show her talent, it was her message in a bottle sent to a world that desperately needed hope. Even after her golden buzzer, Nightbirde continued to battle her illness. Her health forced her to withdraw from AGT later, but she never stopped inspiring millions with her updates, her essays, her poetry-like reflections on life. She wrote honestly about struggle, about fear, about disappearing and resurfacing. In one of her posts, she wrote, "I sometimes feel like I'm disappearing. But I also feel like the world is listening." And the world truly was listening, more closely than ever. Her words became a form of healing for people who had no one else to understand their pain. Years later, her audition is still watched by millions. Her voice still brings tears. Her quotes continue to circulate everywhere. People continue to say that Nightbirde represents the quiet kind of strength the world rarely sees, a strength that doesn't roar, but whispers. She taught millions that it's okay to struggle, that it's okay to feel lost, that it's okay to not be okay. She helped normalize vulnerability without shame. And somehow, hearing those words from her made people feel lighter. Nightbirde's golden buzzer performance didn't just make AGT history, it became one of the most meaningful television moments ever captured. It has inspired charity campaigns, helped raise awareness for cancer fighters, comforted grieving families, motivated artists to keep creating, and sparked conversations about resilience and hope worldwide. The most remarkable part is that none of this required dramatic vocals or elaborate staging. It was simply one young woman, one guitar, one song, and one truth. Simon Cowell's decision to hit the golden buzzer remains one of the most emotional moments in his career. Many viewers said afterward that he didn't just reward a performance, he validated a life. Nightbirde didn't win the show in the traditional sense, but she won something far more important. She won hearts, she won admiration, she won a timeless legacy. Today, people still share her audition whenever they need comfort or perspective. They still quote her whenever they feel overwhelmed. They still watch her performance whenever they want to remember what courage looks like. In a world filled with noise and chaos, Nightbirde was a soft voice that cut through everything. Her message wasn't wrapped in perfection, it was wrapped in sincerity. And that sincerity became her superpower. Her performance remains iconic because it captures what it means to be human, broken yet hopeful, tired yet determined, hurting yet still choosing beauty. Nightbirde reached into millions of hearts and whispered, "It's okay. You're not alone." That message continues to echo long after the stage lights went dark. Her legacy lives on in every person who found strength because of her. And her audition will forever be remembered as one of the greatest moments in America's Got Talent history, a moment that wasn't defined by competition, but by compassion, authenticity, and the unshakable spirit of a remarkable woman. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe Talent Zone Updates YouTube channel for more update news. What was your favorite moment from the show? Let us know in the comments.